Hey everyone, welcome to another training day in the preseason prep challenge. This is row your boat. So we're going to start with another walking cardio buy-in. So we have 1 minute at a moderate pace to warm up. It was really cold in my basement that day, which is why my arms are crossed like that. I'm not really pissed off. I'm just cold. So once we near the end of our 1 minute moderate pace, we are going to program in a threshold pace, and we're going to stay at that pace for 4 minutes. So a threshold pace is a pace that you can maintain for 4 minutes, but anything beyond that would be really difficult. So for me, this is like a decent pace to jog. And I know that when I reach the end of that 4 minutes, like I'm going to be breathing hard and I'm definitely going to want to stop. And that's how you want to feel at the end of your 4 minutes. So basically, what we're trying to do is work the threshold of our cardio and bump the threshold up. So I want to work right at that threshold of like needing to quit, but not quite there. So it's a pace that I can maintain, but that is pretty difficult. When you finish with your 4 minutes at a threshold pace, you're going to back down to another minute of either moderate pace or just rest. And then when you're done with that 1 minute of rest, you're going to do your 4 minute threshold pace one more time. So here we go, kick it back up into gear. After your cardio buy-in, you're going to head into your first exercise, which is our heavy lifting chest supported row. I slowed it down here so you could get an idea for how to get into this position because it can be kind of hard and a little bit awkward. One thing that's really important for this row is to make sure that you are having your chest up so you get a little bit of an arch in that upper chest. And if you watch me get into that position, you can see me kind of roll my shoulders back and down before I start rowing. This first set is 10 reps, so it's a pretty moderate weight, and you're pulling towards your back pocket and squeezing your shoulder blades together. These are normal speed reps. If you need an idea of what they look like, you can go back to the slower reps. And then here's an example of how to get out of this, which can also be kind of difficult. The second set is going to be 8 reps. This time they're sped up. I increase the weight and decrease the reps to make it a little bit more challenging. The third set is going to be 6 reps. This is another way that you can sit on the bench, although even more awkward, so I don't recommend it. The next set is down to 4 heavy reps, so these should be really difficult. And then we're going to end it out with 10 more reps at the original weight. So this is 5 sets. The reps are going to decrease, the weight will increase, and then our last set is going to be the same thing we did in the beginning. So for me, it's 10 reps at 20 pounds per hand or something. We're going to follow that with our accessory circuit. So our first exercise is a band pull apart. The first couple of reps are in slow motion, so you can see that I'm trying really hard to start this movement with my shoulder blades rather than my arms. And I'm fighting to keep my shoulders down away from my ears because for a lot of us, we'll notice that our shoulders will creep up towards our ears as we do this exercise, and we really don't want that. That same sort of arch through the upper back that we were trying to get through the chest supported row is what we want to have here. So our lower back is neutral, but we are rolling our shoulders back and down, which brings our chest up a little bit so that we can essentially engage the correct muscles here. So this is a set of 10 to 15, or 15 to 20, sorry, followed by a push-up to a downward dog. So my push-ups aren't that great and I'm not that confident with them, so I'm using an incline and that is 100% okay. The thing that's really important here is that there's no stopping between the push-ups and the downward dog. It's a really fluid movement as we work through those shoulder muscles. And this is a couple normal speed reps. So we're going to do 8 reps of this. You may find that you can start on the floor, but then as the circuit goes on and you get deeper into the rounds, you may need to incline up, or you may be able to do them all from the floor, or you may be able to do them all from a decline. So pick something that's challenging for you, whatever that looks like, and just make sure that you're moving fluidly from the push-ups into the downward dog as best you can. The last exercise for this circuit is a transverse lunge. So what we're doing is we're actually stepping back and pointing our toe at a diagonal away from where we're starting. So we're pivoting a little bit to like a 90-degree lunge here. You can do this at body weight if it's the first time you've tried this exercise. I actually recommend that. And if you're getting through it really quickly or you start to feel really confident in it, then you can add weight. You can hold the weight in the opposite hand as I'm doing here, or you can hold it up on your chest in a goblet hold in both hands, and either of those will work. You may find, especially if you've been skating for a really long time, that this is really difficult on one side versus the other. So for me, my left hip has a lot of problems from skating. And so stepping to the left on this side is really, really difficult. And that's okay. That's why we're doing this. We're working on strengthening our hip flexors, not just our hip flexors, but all of our hip stabilizer muscles here, and working in a plane that we don't normally work. So these 3 exercises are going to be a circuit. When you get to the end of the circuit, you're going to go back to the top for 4 total rounds. For the transverse lunges, you are doing 10 on each side before going back to the top. Once you're done with your 4 rounds of the circuit, you get your 5-minute buyout, which in this case is an inverted row. So you can use a suspension trainer like I'm doing here, or you can use a safety bar or a Smith machine or something like that. It's really important that we're keeping our body nice and straight like a plank, and that we're squeezing our shoulder blades together as we go. You'll notice that you will fatigue pretty quickly here as you do these. I actually started mine, oh, I'm taking a break. I actually started mine a lot more upright than I normally would because I knew that they were going to be really hard and I was going to be doing a lot of reps. So adjust as needed. You can change your hold as well. I think I was doing a different hold in that round. And you just keep going and you take breaks when you need it. And oh, here we're taking another break. Oh, we got to check the time. Is it over yet? No, it's not over yet. So you take breaks as you need it and then jump back in as you can. We're going to count all of our reps. Oh, now I'm getting hot. Take off the sweatshirt. We're going to count all of our reps here. And then that's what we're going to record in the notes. How many reps you can do across the total 5 minutes. And again, there's no shame in resting. These are the recommended kind of cool down stretches for this particular workout. We worked our lats a lot, so I recommend you getting down on the floor and rolling them out as best you can. That can be super uncomfortable, so don't put a ton of pressure into them if you've never rolled your lats before. Then I also follow it with a couple of lat stretches. This is a puppy dog, so you start on all fours and then extend your arms out in front of you and you just hang out in that position for a minute or longer if you'd like to. It feels really good, although it looks kind of awkward. I also recommend doing thread the needle on each side is a really nice one. So again, you start in all fours and you reach underneath with each arm so that the shoulder is pressing to the ground, and you can also get your forehead down there too if you're flexible enough, although if you're not, that's totally okay. And I also recommend doing a trap stretch because a lot of us hold a lot of tension in our upper traps. So wrap that arm behind your back and gently pull on your head to the side, directly to the side to get through that upper trap stretch. And then you can just kind of do a couple dynamic swings or whatever you need to shake it out. And then as always, clean up after yourself.